This is the Washington Times front page for Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Disgraced New York Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo has announced his resignation after mounting sexual harassment allegations from 11 women, saying it was the best outcome to avoid a costly and distracting impeachment trial. Deputy Political Editor Dave Boyer reports Cuomo still forcefully denies the harassment allegations, despite troves of evidence in a report from State Attorney General Letitia James. The governor said the political environment in Albany was too hot and too reactionary for him to continue.
I would never want to be unhelpful in any way. And I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing.
It's a breathtakingly rapid fall for the third-term governor, who won an Emmy in November for his use of daily televised briefings last year during the COVID-19 pandemic. Democrats and Republicans expressed relief at Cuomo's decision, but some said he still needs to be held accountable for harassment and other allegations, including a cover-up of COVID-19 deaths at nursing homes. Cuomo will turn over control of the Empire State in 14 days to Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, who will become New York's first female governor. The 62-year-old has held public office at the local, state, and federal levels, starting with a 14-year stint on the town board of Hamburg, south of Buffalo. The former U.S. Congresswoman is known as a retail politician who takes pride in traveling to all of New York's 62 counties. Her reputation is one of low-profile competence and accessibility. Hochul called Cuomo's behavior repulsive and said his decision was the right thing to do and in the best interest of New Yorkers. Calls for another round of mask mandates, fueled by an uptick in COVID-19 cases, have public officials sparring over whether Americans should once again cover up. 2 months after most places rescinded mandates, Valerie Richardson reports the mask battle is back. At least 8 Republican states have banned mask requirements, and 2 of those governors, Florida's Ron DeSantis and Texas's Greg Abbott, are fighting local officials ahead of the fall school semester. Elsewhere, the move back to mandatory masks is well underway, including in California. Driving the moves is the Delta variant surge, which helped to increase the rolling 2-week daily average of new cases to 8,533. That's an increase of 165%, according to Johns Hopkins University. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson signed legislation barring mask mandates in April, but said over the weekend on CBS's Face the Nation that he regrets it. He announced he would ask the state legislature to reverse the measure to give school districts more flexibility in dealing with outbreaks. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. In Afghanistan, the Taliban has captured their 7th and 8th provincial capitals as top U.S. lawmakers blasted the Afghan army's complete, utter failure on the battlefield. Pentagon correspondent Ben Wolfgang reports there's growing alarm inside of the White House, State Department, and Pentagon as the exit of foreign troops has led directly to a wave of Taliban victories and demoralizing defeats for Afghan government troops. In its latest effort to hold insurgent momentum, the Biden administration has dispatched U.S. Special Envoy to Afghanistan Zalmay Khalilzad to meet with Taliban leaders in Qatar. Khalilzad is stressing the U.S. and its allies won't recognize a Taliban-led government established through violence. European Union officials estimate that the group controls roughly 65% of the entire country. And finally, on immigration, the poor conditions in government emergency border shelters are causing emotional distress and spurring some illegal immigrant children to try to escape, according to court documents filed this week. Stephen Dinan reports attorneys for the children told Judge Dolly Gee that the kids feel intense psychological distress, and some have resorted to violence or tried to break out of the shelters. The accusations are the latest to be lodged against tent cities set up at Fort Bliss and Pecos, both in Texas, to hold the massive surge of illegal immigrant children. Attorneys have asked the judge in court filings to declare the facilities unfit for children 12 and under, and for older minors with particular needs, such as pregnant teens, those who have autism, and those facing mental health issues. The Department of Health and Human Services said in a statement that it couldn't address the specific issues raised in court, but it added that it takes the role of guardianship of the children seriously. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find the Front Page podcast on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WashTimes for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.